overview and introduction part, so that you will be able to get what exactly SailPoint is, what is IAM, and why we are working on this, and you will get the context. And then we will move on to the installation part. Okay, because whenever we work on any product, any tool, if there is an opportunity to work on installation, then we should work, so that we will get insights how to do the installation, what are the modules available and all. So we will work on the installation then. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Next, we will talk about application onboarding. There are certain applications which are. Did you ever heard about the Active Directory or LDAP kind of applications?
Um, no.
No, no. Okay. Did you have heard about the database?
Yes, I know the database because I practice in like secure, and where I learn about the MySQL.
Oh,
I
that's great.
configure MySQL.
That's because in some section we will also discuss about the MySQL part in database based
Mm-hmm.
applications. Okay, so you will be able to relate something at least
Yeah,
in
yeah,
that area.
yeah.
Okay, so we will discuss about application onboarding. There are certain other modules of SailPoint which include risk policies and certifications. Risk policies and
What?
certification. So these are the modules which are related to compliance and governance, wherein we define certain rules, certain policies which everybody has to follow. So if anybody is not following, that comes under the policy violation. And suppose if you are joining any organization and you are joining as a manager, CEO, VP, so you will be having some roles, some access which are very critical, very high level access. So those access should get reviewed by somebody. Because if you are a normal user and if you are having the access related equal to your manager, then it is not good, right? So
Yes.
everybody's access should be reviewed periodically. So that thing we will discuss under the certifications process.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Next is the roles administration, role mining, and troubleshooting part, wherein we will discuss about the roles. Roles means like if you are joining the organization, if you want to have to submit the timesheet. You usually submit timesheet when we in work in any organization. So we should have that access and to us, assigned to us. So for this, we raise a request for role that please assign me timesheet submission role or approval role, like that. So we will raise a request for access. So we will discuss how to raise, how to work on these things over here. Okay, and finally we will discuss about the lifecycle manager, which includes the managing the complete life cycle of user, like when user is getting onboarded, getting hired in the organization, when user is leaving the organization or moving from one department to another, like that. So we will discuss about the lifecycle manager module over here. So overall, it covers various modules. All the modules of SailPoint we will be covering, so that you will get complete end-to-end understanding of SailPoint as a product. So this is the complete agenda, and in case of single candidate, we target it to complete in around 15 hours. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, there are approximate 10 to 12 hours of offline practice of yours that will be required.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which means I will be providing you few documentations, few use cases scenarios, few exercise guides that you
Mm-hmm.
have to work on. Okay, suppose I am done with today's session. There will be certain guides that will be provided to you. You have to work in offline hours working on those. And next day, if you are facing some issues, you will ask your doubts, so that parallelly when we will complete our training, you will be having your all doubts clear, and you will be having all the things in your system as well, so that you will gain much more confidence and much more practical experience. So this is the approach that I usually follow.
Nice, sir.
Okay, so yeah, overall 15 hours, but yes, offline hours from your end will be required. Okay, so before we start on this, any questions, anything in your mind, anything to ask?
Oh no, sir. Actually, I have no any about question about this the sell
Hmm.
point because I'm the very fresh here on the field.
Hmm. Hmm.
So um, uh, Actually, my request is like I'm trying to learn, and you told me everything is you briefly everything is like say every day the class session you give the some PDF note, and
Yeah,
obviously I should be practice, and then next class if I going to the practice every
yeah,
classes, so next classes I will be make some course into you, but
yeah,
yeah, it is.
yeah.
So this is the very good to go for. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I have couple of questions related to your personal system.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to work on the installation part after few sessions. Okay,
Okay.
and for installation, there are some prerequisites. There are few softwares that I'll be providing you. You have to install in your system. So are you having a system where there will be no restriction for installing the softwares? I will ask you to install the softwares like MySQL, data for database, and Tomcat. That this is a
Mm-hmm.
server. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so these kinds of softwares I'll ask you to install in later sessions. So means your system is capable of installing, right? That's fine, no?
Yes, sir. Is the my system is my system is like this is a 32 gigabyte RAM and 1 terabyte
Wow,
SSD.
wow, wow.
Yeah,
That's good then. Yeah, that's
yeah,
good.
and also the my systems are already I'm down. I my system have because it's, I practice the QA, so
Hmm.
my system is download already the Java and
Java is there.
server application Apache Tomcat and
Mm-hmm.
database MySQL already. My
Oh, you
system have.
already have. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that's great. And do you have any VM virtual machine in your system?
No, sir, I didn't do that because I never. I know the about the VM virtual
Hmm.
machine,
Hmm.
but I never practice in the virtual machine,
You
and
never. Hmm.
no, never.
Okay, no problem then. Yeah. Okay, so let's start with the basic concepts today, and then we will gradually move ahead. We will talk about the basic IAM part. IAM means identity and access management. There will be few keywords that we'll be talking about today, and you can, if you want, you can make a note of them because we'll be using frequently in later sessions about those keywords like IAM, SailPoint IAQ, and there are various others that we'll be discussing soon. Okay, so okay, now let's start with the discussion now.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we are talking about SailPoint or the various other products related to SailPoint, so those are IAM products. IAM means identity and access management products. Okay, so what is IAM? Did you ever heard about that before this session? What IAM, identity and access management? Are you aware that
Uh,
SailPoint is a IAM product?
oh, actually, sir, when my friends has told me about the cyber security, like identity access management,
Yeah.
so that time I am trying to the like browsing to Google is find out
Mm,
as to what is exactly. Yeah.
mm, mm,
And actually I guess something is this is like identity access management, and the access the identity, and then is they give the access. At first they manage the identity and then they
mm,
give the access,
mm,
and the SailPoint one of tools the
mm.
identity access management.
Correct. There are various other competitors of SailPoint in the market, and there are products like Savient. We have Okta, we have Microsoft Azure AD, we have IBM Tivoli, CA Identity Manager, Oracle Identity Manager. There are various products, various competitors of SailPoint.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I would say like SailPoint is something which is uh, I would say which is on the top three products.
Top three. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So as you understand identity and access management, it means what I understand that yeah, you are somewhat able to relate it. Yes. So what identity and access management is, it is about the identity and its access. So whenever we talk about identity, which means we are talking about the user, okay, any user, any end
Yeah.
user, any administrator. So what we have to do under IAM is we have to manage those users and their access. Managing the users, like if anybody is joining the organization, what roles we have to assign to that user. Okay, which department that user should be a part of, like that, and what access user should have, what how the user will able to reset the password of his account, password management part, everything comes under this identity and access management. Okay, here in this diagram, what I have is one flow diagram where we will talk about various applications in the flow. And whenever we will talk about SailPoint, SailPoint actually has various products, in which one is Identity IQ and another is two main products, and one is Identity IQ and another is Identity Now. Okay, Identity Now is a cloud based IAM solution from SailPoint. Do you understand what is a cloud based solution?
Cloud-based solution is like now is cloud-based solution now. I think it's like sir, the Amazon, AWS,
Yeah,
Azure,
yeah, any solution which is hosted on cloud,
cloud.
right?
Yeah,
Whether Amazon Cloud or Azure Cloud or Google Cloud. So any
yeah.
solution, any product which is hosted there. Okay. So Identity Now is a solution from SailPoint, which is a cloud-based solution. But we are going to study about the IAQ, Identity IQ, which is a on-premise solution. That's why I was asking you that you will be able to install the softwares or not, because we have to physically install that, okay, somewhere in the server or somewhere. So IAQ is a on-premise identity and access management solution, which is much more mature product from SailPoint that is able to handle lot of various complex requirements from clients. That's why this is on in boom in the market. Okay, so here I have written IAQ. IAQ is nothing but the Identity IQ, which is a product I am product from SailPoint. Now in whenever we will discuss about any architecture or some will work on any project, what happens is, or if you will relate it with your onboarding, suppose you joined some company. Okay, your company will receive the data from HR, right? Because first of all, HR will contact you, HR will discuss, finalize your salary, and then they will hire you, and HR will provide the data to the organization and your account will get created in the organization. This is the normal flow. Okay, here also the similar process we follow. Like we have a HR application, some HR application, we may have one, two, three, four various HR applications as well. So
Mhm.
we have one HR source, we have IAQ. From HR, the employees or user records are coming into IAQ, because IAQ is a IAM machine which manages identity and their access. So from where IAQ receives the data? From the HR sources. From the HR sources, IAQ is getting the data. And from IAQ, when the data is received in IAQ, user account gets created. And we call it as user identity cube creation. User identity cube creation. Which means whenever user account gets created, like you create your account in Gmail, on Facebook, Twitter, somewhere. Okay, you create your account. Whenever a account gets created in IIQ, we call it as user identity queue creation. Okay, this is a terminology of SailPoint. Okay,
Okay.
and HR record, what use HR contains? User records. User records may have employee ID, first name, last name, email, address, phone number, like that, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
if, when you join the company, you provide these basic details. So
Yeah. Yeah.
similar
Basically.
details will be there in the HR. So
Right.
these records will be there in HR, and from HR, these records will come inside IAQ, and user identity cube gets created. And
So.
with
So
IAQ,
that means.
there, yes, tell me.
Yeah. Sorry, sir.
No
Never
problem, no
mind.
problem.
Yeah. So that means it's like at first the human resource they at first the hire the employer, and human resource when is going to be hire the employer, so they need the employer information. Yeah, especially generally the ID name and first name,
Yeah,
last name, email,
yeah,
contact name. Yeah, this is the
then
activity
yeah.
employer.
Hmm.
So then is like HR is sent to the IIQ,
Hmm.
and then at the time IIQ, when the making like user identity IIQ.
Yeah,
So that time the IIQ make is the user identity cube.
yeah, Q.
Okay, so
That means IAQ create the user account and we call it as user identity cube creation.
right.
Okay. And once the user is created an identity IQ, that user may get provision to various other applications which are connected. Other applications may include, I'll tell you, have you heard about SAP application?
No, sir.
Okay, success factors, learning portal,
No,
any
sir.
timesheet. Okay, no problem. So any SAP application or XYZ application, any ABC application. Okay, so
Mhm.
IIQ is connected. You must have heard about the Outlook
Yeah,
or not?
obviously,
Yeah,
obviously Outlook. Yeah,
Outlook. Suppose Outlook for email box and all.
yeah.
Okay, so user account got created in IIQ. User details got provision to various applications like Active Directory, XYZ, ABC, Outlook. Okay.
Hmm.
So how these details are going? That means user attributes, whatever IIQ has, IIQ is provisioning those attributes to the target applications. Okay. For IIQ, HR is the source, but these
Hmm.
Active Directory, XYZ, ABC, and Outlook are the targets. These are the target applications.
Great.
Okay.
Okay.
So from IIQ, the data user records are going to these applications as well. This is as per the client requirement. If client want to provision only in Active Directory and XYZ, so it will provision only in these two. Okay.
Okay, sir.
This is how the data flows. Okay. And this process of moving means transferring the data from IIQ to target applications is called as provisioning. Okay.
Okay.
This is a process of provisioning, and sometimes there is a requirement to pull the data from target back to IAQ, like from Active Directory back to IAQ. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so this process is known as aggregation.
Okay, sir. So here is one question, sir, about the Active Directory. I understand the like targeted application because the one of organization they're gonna connect the Outlook and other application to other application. They're
Mm,
gonna connect for their organization requirement.
yeah.
I understand.
Mm,
This is the targeted application.
yeah.
Uh, and here is provisioning and aggregation. I understand the aggregation means it's like yeah they can connect.
It's a kind of import. Whenever you
Import, yeah,
use import. Yeah.
yeah. And about the provisioning, sir, could you
Mm,
to little
mm.
explain me?
Provisioning is the opposite of import, kind of. It's
Oh,
kind
opposite
of
of
yeah, opposite of aggregation or opposite of import, you can say. Like your user record is existing in IIQ, but you
Mhm.
want to transfer those details to some target applications like Active Directory, XYZ, or anything. So what you are doing in transferring is the provisioning process. You are
Okay,
transferring the user details or user attributes.
okay, sir.
Hmm? Yeah, so
Okay,
this
sir.
is a
Yeah.
provisioning process. And whenever we will discuss and whenever we will say that transferring the details from any application back to IAQ, this process will always refer to as aggregation process. Like
Aggregation.
even in HR, from HR to IAQ, if I am getting the data, that is the aggregation process.
Mm-hmm.
Anything coming to IAQ is a aggregation, and going from IAQ is a provisioning.
Provisioning. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Do you understand what is authentication?
Um, Authentication, sir. Yeah, I
Have you
understand
heard
that.
about?
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yes. I heard about the authentication.
Hmm. Okay, let me tell you. See, there are two terminologies, not specific to SailPoint, but in general, for your knowledge. One is authentication and another is authorization. Okay,
Yeah.
so authentication is something that is identifying whether the user is the right user or not. Okay, like whenever you access your Gmail account, you provide your username and password. Okay, that is your
Mm-hmm.
credentials. You provide username and password. So if you
Mm-hmm.
will provide right username and password, you will get authenticated. That means your username and password is validated from the database, and if that is correct, you will be provided access to your mail account. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
this is authentication.
Right.
Okay, this is authentication. And what you will be able to see inside Gmail, okay, that depends on what level of access you have or whatever you are authorized to. Okay, a Gmail admin can see lot of various configuration things as well, but you are a normal end user of Gmail, you will be able to see only your emails.
Right.
Okay, so this is about the authorization. Okay, what level of access you are authorized to view inside any restricted page or restricted application.
Okay, sir. I'm
Okay,
clear
first
with
you will get authenticated
and
after
authorization.
authorization.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is important concept, that's why I told you. Now from the left side of architecture, are you clear with the flow? Any
Yes.
questions?
Yes, sir. I'm clear everything, but here is little brief me, please. Is Active Directory. So
Hmm.
this is the application.
Yes, this
Active.
is an application actually. Active
Okay.
Directory is an application, it is a connector.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, sir.
Hmm. Active Directory is usually a direct kind of a directory which stores the user records actually.
Okay, sir.
Okay, it's not related to SailPoint. It's a general application which many people, many organization uses to store the user records. Before
Oh,
IAM, before identity and access management, I would say like users are getting stored in most of the organizations in AD only. Okay, even
okay.
these days also, most of the organizations prefer to use AD for storing the users or for managing the user base.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
yeah, but for managing the identity and their access, nowadays we are using IAM tools like
Yeah.
IAQ.
Yeah, yeah.
On the right side, we have identity now in this architecture.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is just to make you more aware about the other product of SailPoint. That's why I have mentioned this as identity now, which is a cloud-based solution. And
Mhm.
suppose this is connected with Active Directory. Once user will log into identity now, user will enter his credentials, username and password, and user will be provided with a page where there will be SSO apps. SSO is a single sign-on apps. Have you heard about what is single sign-on?
Actually, I heard about, but I have no idea about details. But I know the name, the
Yeah,
apps.
that's good that you have heard
Yeah.
about SSO, single sign-on, which means like in a single click, user will be able to access hundred of applications. Okay, like if I have provided the username and password one time, and
Mhm.
inside that there are hundreds of more application, I'll just with a single click I'll be able to access those applications, and it will not ask me for the username and password again and again. Okay, that's why we call it a single sign-on. With a single
Okay.
one time we will provide the username and password, and we will be able to access various other applications.
Okay, sir.
Got it? So identity now is a product which provide this feature, actually SSO feature.
Education.
Okay, and
Okay.
various other products that we have in the market which provide SSO features. And one of the important product is Okta. Okay. Okay, so this is clear to you, the basic
Yes, sir. I'm
concepts.
clear. Yeah, yeah, I'm clear.
Great.
So identity now is the cloud-based solution. Yeah.
It is a cloud-based solution, and
Yeah.
IAQ is a on-premise solution.
On-premise solution. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on-premise solution means it's so that means is the local machine.
No, on-premise means it's having a physical architecture where
Physical.
we, yeah, where we will be having some servers. On the top of servers we will host our application. Okay, and then we will utilize those application. But in case of cloud based, we will get some domain registered on the cloud. like on AWS cloud, some domain is registered like www.okta.com. We will just hit in the browser and we will be able to access that.
I understand. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
great. SailPoint Identity IQ. And today and in one or two sessions, we will discuss more on the theoretical part just to give you more clarity on the concepts. Once your concepts will be clear, we will focus more on the practical part. Okay.
Sure.
So these are the components or the modules that we have in SailPoint IAQ. Okay. IAQ is Identity IQ, and various components include Compliance Manager, Lifecycle Manager, Governance Platform, Integration Modules. So we discussed when we were discussing about the in the agenda, we discussed about that there are compliance manager and governance module as well. So we discuss. I told you that we will discuss about certifications, policies. Okay. Also,
Mhm.
we will discuss about reporting part, life cycle manager part. We will discuss about identities, roles, risk, policies. In integration modules, we will discuss about uh, the third party applications or other applications integration. Okay.
Integration. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the main modules that we have in IIQ. SailPoint Identity Now, as I told you, that IIQ integrates with Identity Now for single sign-on. If any client says that we want single sign-on, in that case only we will prefer to have Identity Now as a another product from SailPoint. Otherwise, IIQ is one of the mature product that we will be using.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Now we will discuss about this process to give you more clarity. If
Okay,
you
sir.
able to recall that we discussed about the in the basic architecture, we discussed about the flow, about the
Yes.
aggregation, and about the provisioning. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
In the center we have identity. That means
Mhm.
sorry, we have IAQ, and on the other hand we have applications.
Right.
If we are pulling something from applications back to IAQ, that is aggregation, and from IAQ back to applications, that is
This is
provisioning.
provision. Yeah.
Okay, this part is clear, right?
Yeah. This part is before
The
yeah, the before structure diagram, and this the diagram is like sensor. Yeah.
hmm.
And
And the
there is the
third,
active directory, and here is application is same. Yes.
yeah, yeah. Now we have another thing, that is refresh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, refresh is another important part, and refresh is something that is that we run on the identities, and we call it as identity refresh. And what refresh is, let me tell you. Suppose from any application you ran the aggregation and you got
Mm-hmm.
all the data inside IAQ. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to populate that data inside each identity attribute like first name, last name, email. Okay, so in order to populate that data within each identity, we will run the refresh of every identity in IIQ. And this refresh is a task that we have to run. Okay.
Understand. Yep.
Just theoretically understand. Practically, we'll be doing a lot of things related to all these things. You'll be able to relate it very easily. Okay. Another important thing is for IAQ, what we have to do is whenever we will talk about various things, like we discuss about identities, we are talking about applications, we are talking about tasks, roles. Okay, everything is stored in in objects, in single object. Like when we talk about identity is stored in the identity object, roles in the roles object, task in the task object, certification in the certification object. So there is a database for IAQ as well. Okay, we can have a MySQL database or Oracle database, okay, or any other database as per the client requirement.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
so everything, every object that we are talking about, or any actor that we are talking about within IAQ is stored in the objects, and finally it gets stored in the database, and we can check that database by writing simple SQL queries like select asterisk from data table name and something like that. Okay, we will
Yeah.
see that part as well.
Okay.
But for now, you should just remember that here, every object, every actor that we are talking about is stored in their specific objects.
So, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
The SailPoint is an each and everything is an object. So that means it's
In SailPoint, everything is stored in the form of objects.
form of object. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here they are talking about another part, that is another object, that is task. And we
Mm-hmm.
have another object that is reports. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And these tasks and reports are stored in the same object. This is an exception, I would say. Though I have said in the previous slide that everything, every actor is stored in their respective objects, but task
Mm-hmm.
and the reports are stored in a single object. That's why they have created a diagram like this.
So report the tags in object and the report on the report is an object and under the tags. Yes, that's the circling means.
Actually, there is a object name. You understand the diagram correctly, but in IIQ there is an object with the name task.
Yeah.
Objects hold the task as well as the reports.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and we do have a workflows object as well. We will discuss more on the workflows later. Here in this slide, if you will see, what is a task? Task is a general term, I think. You must have heard about the task earlier as well, right?
Yes, it starts means it's like
Something to trigger.
it's something to trigger. Yeah, where you
Yeah,
are working on a position, so you have some tasks like working.
task.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, you have to do it like this, like this, like this. Some
yeah,
information you
yeah,
have to follow
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah. You have to. Okay. So here, if we are talking about aggregation or if we are talking about refresh, this is nothing but the task. We have to
Yeah.
trigger those. If somebody is asking you to run the import, okay, so you have to run the aggregation task.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If anybody is asking you to refresh the identity, then you will go
Mm-hmm.
to the task section of IAQ and you will run the refresh identity queue task. Okay. So this will trigger some actions and it will perform its job. And whenever we will talk about provisioning, provisioning will not happen through task. Provisioning will happen through the workflows. Okay, workflow is nothing but the sequence of steps. It's like a program kind of, or a script kind of, that will run and that will do the job of provisioning for you.
So yeah, means is the workflow is the yeah I understand, but I'm not sure about the workflow. The workflow is like you have to you work in one position and you follow the step to step your
Yeah,
work activities.
yeah. So there are
Excuse
certain
me, sir.
steps.
Excuse
Yeah,
me, sir.
yeah.
Sir, my baby is down my from the bed.
Sure,
I'm
sure, sure.
going there.
Please
Please.
take care. Please take care.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Yeah. How is your baby?
He's getting so pain. It's like say, my
Oh,
baby's age is like 9 months and he's fall down
oh,
from the bed. Oh my
oh.
god, to the floor. But is
Okay.
the floor is a wooden floor, so that's why it's little safe. It's gonna be concrete
My
floor.
God. Oh, okay, okay. Somebody is there to take care. Her mother is there.
Yeah, wow. His mother is here, but his mother is like lay down on the bed and going to the kitchen like bring some water.
Okay,
Just a
okay.
second.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to take care of your means baby, you can take care, and I can cover up more on tomorrow. That's fine.
Now it's okay. Well, he's okay now. His mom is taking now. No
Sure,
problems.
sure.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, sure. No
Okay,
problems.
okay, okay, okay. It's very much required to monitor small babies at this age.
Yes, it is, sir. Yeah. And the hair is too tough, and me and my wife is nobody is here, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is difficult very much. Yeah. Every time somebody has to be there.
Yeah. Thanks, sir. Thanks. Thank you, sir. You support me.
No problem. Okay. So shall we continue now?
Yes, it's continuous, sir, please.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I was talking about the workflow part, and you were saying that this is a sequence of steps one by one. So you were mentioning it correctly. Like workflow is a sequence of steps. We define some steps, and that steps get executed one by one. And within those steps, we write some logic. Okay,
Yeah.
through some code or through some script or anything, we write some logic, and that gets executed. And altogether, it helps in the provisioning of user from IAQ to some other applications. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So we are done with the first slide, and next slide talks about the installation and the architecture. Architecture we already discussed. This is the architecture having the components, but here this is again a detailed architecture. Now from here I'll try to explain you more on the IAQ part. Here as I told you, IAQ is a on-premise product. Okay, so
Mhm.
this is again an application. An application needs to be hosted somewhere. Okay, we have to host the application somewhere, and for that we would require the application server. Okay,
Okay.
application server. There are various types of or various application servers which are available, and we can use any of the application servers. And one of the most popular used application server is Tomcat. Right.
Mhm.
So Tomcat is the application server that we'll be using, and on the top of Tomcat, we will install our IAQ application. Okay. So
Okay.
here in this diagram, you will see app on the left side is written application server.
Mhm.
Inside application, on the top of application server, we will host our application IAQ, and IAQ will be having its database that is there in the bottom. Database will be having some tables and object modeling. An application server will be there, database will be there, IIQ will be there, and IIQ will get connected to the target systems. On the right side, you can see various target systems like
Mhm.
JDBC file, CSV file, Active
Mhm.
Directory, SAP, other third-party applications, ticketing
Mhm.
tools, mobile
Mhm.
applications, and all. Okay, we can even connect to the mail servers as well. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so this is the complete detailed architecture of IIQ.
Okay. And so here is like I say here is the database server. So identity queue have a own database or
IAQ has its own database. Okay, anything which is getting stored in IAQ is getting stored in the database as well.
okay. Yes, that's the clear.
Yeah. So we can access the database and we can open their tables there as well. Suppose we have 100 users coming from HR to IAQ. Okay, 100 users are there in IAQ now, and we can check in IAQ as well as we can open the MySQL database or that whatever is the database. We will open the table and we can see that users existing over there.
All right.
Next is the installation part.
Mhm.
Theoretical part of installation we will discuss today. Practical part we will discuss tomorrow. And I have to share you the installers as well. So can you
Mhm.
please drop me a message with the email so that I can share you either today or tomorrow sometime?
Okay, drop my email address.
Yes.
Okay, sure, sure. Uh,
Got
are
it.
you getting, sir?
Yeah, I
You
got.
get?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Now for the installation part, uh, as I told you, we will require the database. We will require the application server. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to install the application on top of the application server. So we will require the installer of IAQ as well. And the installer means it will there will be a one war
Mm-hmm.
file that we will be using IAQ database. We have to prepare or create the database, initialize some default objects. There are some default objects which are provided, initial objects.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that we will be installing. And if there is any patch in the SailPoint version, then that will also be using. So nowadays, the latest versions that we are using for IAQ is 8.0 or 8.1. Earlier, we were having the versions like 6.3, 6.4, 7.0, 7.1, 7.2, 7.3, and then 8.0, 8.1 is the latest. So I'll be providing you either 8.0 or 8.1 version, okay, for our complete training process. So the war file that I'll be providing you will be of the IAQ, and you have to do the deployment of that war file. Do you have Tomcat installed already?
Yes, I have the Tomcat installed
Okay.
already.
So if you have used Tomcat earlier, you must be aware about that there is one WebINF folder inside Tomcat,
Mm-hmm.
or Web Apps folder is also there inside Tomcat.
Yeah, web apps.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we will be means talking more about those in later sessions. Okay. We have to do the database configurations as well. And apart from this, after creating the database, we have to, there is one properties file under WebINF classes. We will be having IAQ.properties file. Okay, once we'll be working on this installation part, we will see, and here we will provide the IAQ with the database details. Database, whenever you will install database, it asks
Mm-hmm.
you to enter the username and password. Okay, so we
Yeah.
will enter the username and password of the database.
Okay.
This is for connecting IAQ with its database. And then we will install the initial objects, because whenever you will open portal, you will log in with some user, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the user default admin user is sp admin. Sp admin is the username and admin is the password. So this
Mm-hmm.
user, along with various other configurations, we will import initially at the time of installation. So
Okay.
this is the command that we will use, import init.xml.
Excellent.
And as we discussed in our previous talks, there is one module with the name Lifecycle Manager. Okay, LCM
Mm-hmm.
module we call
Mm-hmm.
it as. So this module needs to be installed separately. with the command import init-lcm.xml. So there is
Okay.
one XML file with the name init-lcm, which holds the lifecycle manager related details of IAQ.
Yeah.
So we have to run this command as well.
Okay.
After once we are done with all the steps of installation, what we will do is we will open the browser, Chrome,
Mm-hmm.
Firefox, or IE, and we will hit this URL, HTTP in the server and the port. Like in we
Mm-hmm.
are doing in our local system, we will use localhost colon
Mm-hmm.
port number is 8080 usually by default
Yeah,
for the Tomcat.
8080. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and slash then the application name identity IQ. We will hit this and the application will login page will come in front of us and we will use this default username and password sp-admin and admin.
Okay.
Okay, and this will complete our installation and we can have various other environments like in the projects whenever we work we have QA environment, we have testing environment, production
Mm-hmm.
environments like that,
Yes, it
and
is.
depending upon that we create various environments as well, and this is something related to the live projects whenever we require different environments in the system.
Okay.
Okay, and from
Okay.
tomorrow we will start with the installation process. Any
Yeah.
questions from you till here?
No, I still now have no questions, sir. You explain is really really nice, and I'm like understand. Yeah, your
Yeah, that's
briefing is
good.
so
Yeah,
wonderful.
my
Yeah,
whole intention is you should understand, and if you are
yeah,
getting any doubt at any time,
yeah.
you are welcome to ask because you should be aware about all the things that we are going to discuss
Yes,
throughout our
obviously,
training.
obviously,
Only
sir.
one thing that will be challenging for you is the in few of the sessions we will discuss about the scripts and the rules part. Okay, that
Yeah.
includes the coding, Java coding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and as your background is not in Java, you may find it difficult to grasp that. Okay, but that is something that is a task of the SailPoint developer. Okay, if you are
Yeah.
searching for job for SailPoint developer, then you have to prepare for this Java part. Otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
if you're looking for SailPoint admin job, then
Mm-hmm.
that task will not be assigned to you in your projects.
Oh, okay. And actually, I have also like I complete the Java language.
Oh,
Yeah, I complete the
that's
Java language. Yeah.
then it's good for you. You will be able to at least read what is written in the code.
Yeah.
Huh?
Understand, sir. Yeah, I have a Java experience because it's like I complete the Java. Only the language I know the Java.
Oh, that is an added advantage, I would say, for you.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
will find it more interesting then.
yeah. And I have also like little idea about the log4j.
Yeah,
Little idea about the
Log4j,
yeah,
MySQL, Java,
MySQL.
then
Yeah,
you will be
Java.
champ. Yeah,
And
that's good.
no, I
That's
have
good. That,
idea because this complete the Java program for QA. Yeah.
mm, that's good. Good to know that. Okay, so yeah, so usually we'll be connecting this time only, the time that we connected today.
Yeah.
And yeah, on weekends, if you are fine and if I am fine, then we will connect. Otherwise, we will target.